go. It starts now. Weird. So.
Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us today to discuss the newly announced relationship between Mullen Automotive and Bollinger Motors. On the line today, we have Mullen CEO David Michery and Bollinger CEO Robert Bollinger. I'm your moderator, Katie Merks. We will be making forward-looking statements today. The information provided on this call is for discussion purposes only. The material is based upon information we consider reliable, but Mullen does not represent that it is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. The material available on this call may contain forward-looking statements which are subject to risks, uncertainties, and assumptions. In some cases, you can identify these statements by forward-looking words such as may, might, will, should, expect, plan, and anticipate. Such forward-looking statements are based on current plans, estimates, and expectations, and are made pursuant to the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. Forward-looking statements are based on known and unknown risks, assumptions, uncertainties, and other factors. The company's actual results, performance, and achievements may differ materially from any future results, performance, or achievements expressed or implied by such forward-looking statements. And with that, let's get started. David, for those who may not be familiar with Mullen, can you give us a brief overview of the company?
First, let me start by saying good morning, and we'll get right into it. Mullen Automotive is a publicly traded U.S. manufacturer of premium electric vehicles. We've been in business for approximately 8 years. We're based in Southern California, and we've been listed on NASDAQ Capital Markets since November of last year. We're currently in the product development phase of manufacturing the next generation Mullen 5 premium electric vehicles, and currently getting ready to start production on our Mullen Class 1 vehicle here in the United States, entirely in the United States.
And Robert, can you give us a brief overview of Bollinger Motors?
Robert? Hey, good morning. Good afternoon. Bollinger Motors. Hi, I'm Robert Bollinger, CEO of Bollinger Motors. We started Bollinger Motors in 2015 in upstate New York, where we developed our first B1 two-door prototype. Debuted that in 2017 in New York City. Got a lot of great reviews, a lot of wonderful people signing up for reservations. Started back then. 4 years ago, we moved here to Detroit to be near engineering, to be near all the vendors that we need to be near and work closely with. Here, we developed our second round of prototypes, the four-door B1 and B2. One of pictured right there is one of them. Anyway, so we built those here just outside Detroit, and then a couple years ago, we moved to our headquarters here in Oak Park, Michigan, where we developed our third level of prototype and got that to a test stage. During those last 2 years, we had an awful lot of commercial fleet interest in our vehicles because we've been Class 3 since day one. And so a lot of fleets were coming to us saying, hey, we need Class 3 and above electric trucks. Can you do that for us? So we started developing those vehicles as well. And earlier this year, we made the announcement that we were going to concentrate on the commercial front with all the fleets because we had so many customers coming to us wanting them. And then the inflation bill that was just signed recently by President Biden, that gives a big boost to this market as well because Class 4 trucks and above will get a 30% tax incentive to buy them. So we're coming out with our first truck will be a Class 4, the Bollinger B4, which we announced and showed last week, which has a lot of great competitive advantages to it. So very excited to be talking to you today and how Mullen is going to help us get to market as quickly as possible.
Thank you. David, today you announced that Mullen has acquired a controlling interest of Bollinger. How does that affect how the companies will operate? Can you give us a little taste of what we're talking about here?
Sure. We're very proud to announce this acquisition of 60% of Bollinger Motors for $148.2 million in both cash and stock. We believe that Bollinger is on a fast track to production as it relates to its Class 4 vehicles, their cab forward product that I believe is special, gives Bollinger a competitive edge. We felt that combined, we could provide not only engineering expertise, homologation expertise, but the needed capital to accelerate Bollinger's path to production, as well as Bollinger's engineering and expertise as it relates to our products. We felt that two companies combined definitely have a better opportunity to compete and get to production faster than some of the startups out there. And collectively, we felt this was a great opportunity to take advantage of, and we did.
So, David, why this deal? Why right now?
Well, timing, right? We're getting ready to deliver a Class 1 utility vehicle, and Bollinger is ready to deliver a Class 4 and is focused on what we call universal skateboard that they can scale from Class 3 to Class 6. We felt that collectively we can dominate Class 1 through 6, knowing that a lot of the big guys like Stellantis, Mercedes, Nissan have all pulled out of the utility truck space, and we feel that it's wide open, and we can be the first guys in there to take advantage of the market and capitalize on a big space that's wide open, and we'll be the first guys there with product from Class 1 through Class 6. So that's the fundamental. We were looking at fundamentals in this market. You got to have fundamentals, and we believe we're going to deliver those. So we're proud to do it together.
That's great. Thank you. Robert, why does this deal work for Bollinger right now? Why is this the right one?
Works for Bollinger on many, many levels. Automotive is expensive. And so we came out with our wonderful B1 and B2 trucks and engineered those to a great space. We took all of that engineering knowledge and almost all of it was used for our commercial front. So I would say we have maybe the longest history of all electric Class 3 and above engineering on the planet, if you will. So I believe that, all of this takes a lot of money. Mullen came to us and able to fund us to get us to production and actually speed up that timing to get there. So it's really at the perfect time to come in with an influx of cash, and again with the expertise that's on their team that complements ours really well is also there. But it's really about getting those purchase orders out there, getting those prototypes made, getting those prototypes in fleet hands, and getting to production, because there's so many fleets that need to go electric and they need a lot of vehicles. And so we know that we can grab a certain percentage of that market with a really great, innovative, clean, simple vehicle with a great total cost of ownership and great safety features, and really do wonders in the commercial market. Also, David's love of the B1 and B2 and where we started is definitely a help. Those are my dream vehicles. So when we get back to those in the future, that is obviously he definitely got my attention when he talked about B1 and B2. So all of the above is really why it's a great partnership.
Thank you, Robert. David, what was it about the work Robert has done at Bollinger that was most important to you in deciding to partner with him? Well,
I've been a fan of Bollinger Motors for quite some time. My first attraction was to the B1 when it was first introduced in 2007. My mind was, wow, what a great product. I looked at the vehicle, and then I looked at the quality of the build on that vehicle, and I could have sworn when I saw it, I thought that General Motors had built that car. Then when I looked at the suspension and looked at what it can do and looked at how they tested it in Utah and tested it in Colorado and saw that this thing is a real, true off-road vehicle that I believe the United States military would run at. And I looked at it and I said to myself, wow, here, in my opinion, is the successor to the H1 that had been in service since, for the last 30 years. And I said to myself, wow, I remember the B-52 bomber, that plane was in service for a very long time until superseded by the B-1 bomber, which was introduced during the Gulf War. And then I thought to myself, what a great vehicle that we could take to this U.S. government and deliver the successor to the H1. That would be my vision, would be to deliver that B1 and B2 as the next generation vehicle that everybody, not just the U.S. government, but the world's governments can utilize. And then the commercial aspect of it obviously could be as big as the initial H1 and H2 programs that ran for a decade with General Motors. So that attracted me first, his ability to deliver at the utility level between class 3s and 6 and his universal proprietary skateboard. What we're missing here is the development of some amazing technology, patented drivetrains, patented skateboards, patented looking forward or forward-looking cabins. There's a lot of great things that are happening at Bollinger, and we're proud to be a part of it. We see a big, gigantic, bright future from class 1 through 6, and we get to what I believe to be the real special offering when we get to the class B1 and B2 offerings, along with the Mullen 5. All of it, synergetically all works, and we're really extremely excited about it and can't wait to get started.
That makes a lot of sense. And a toss up to both of you. What does this merger mean to the EV industry overall? You've talked about the power of working together and collaboration, consolidation. Let's start with Robert.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of automotive comes down to finance. I think that companies need to work together, use their money, soundly. We've been a very efficient company since day one. When I started funding it, we've had other great partners come in. As we ramp up, I think that influx of cash, of course, is great, but also to be able to, in the future, how do you do distribution together? How do you do sales and service together? It's easier, let's say, I don't know if that's the right word, but it's definitely great to, after all the work, to make a distribution network, sales service, and be able to provide it, that you can to create that for many vehicles. And so I think our partnership together will definitely help all of the ecosystem that's around our company, as far as sales, service, distribution, all that kind of stuff. So we can work together on all those other aspects you don't really think of much when you just look at a cool vehicle or you look at a fleet vehicle. There's so much more behind it. And so I think we need to partner together to get there.
Thank you. And David, anything to add in that area?
Absolutely. When you look at today's market and you look at the utility vehicle space, Bollinger's on the quickest path to production. We're going to see B4s on the road this upcoming year. We're going to see Mullen Class 1s on the road this upcoming year. We're really going to make a statement when we start to deliver these vehicles and generate revenue and get into the business of fundamentals and delivering on products to the consumers and capturing revenue, which is the most important thing. And that's on the fast track. We are all on the fast track to production, and that's what makes this special.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate both of your time. I think we've learned a lot and exciting success. Look forward to your successes and seeing what comes next.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
The call today. Sorry. Thank you.